Have you had therapy? Have you sat and talked to a therapist?
Yeah.
I've thought about this a lot because I've had therapy. Surprise, surprise. And
You shocked me, Scott.
no, what's interesting is I think the skill as a therapist is to be able to wind up the session.
Yeah.
With subtly, because the problem is you're dealing with some stuff, and I noticed what she would do is she would steer the therapy ship into dock, and I started to steer it back out. So we were like fight. So she'd say something like, "Well, it looks like we've got lots to work on
And
for next," and I'd think, "Well, no, there is something else."
Did you overrun in therapy as
I
well?
overran in therapy. No, but what she does is, it was like a fight, and then that became a battle.
Yeah.
And because I'd see what she does, there's a clock behind me, and she kept going, and I think, you're looking at the clock, love. She was winding up and looking like, because there's a subtle moment where she'd look down like that, and I think, you're trying to wind this up. And then I'd always, at the end, she'd be like, is there anything else?
And you go, yeah, my uncle raped me.
No.
Oh, that fucking shit.
It's that moment where you just go, I just want to talk about my dad. And she'd be like, I can't. We've got someone else coming in. I just don't think you can do therapy to a time limit.
Yeah, it is a bit awkward on that.
It is awkward, isn't it?
What you need to get is a timid therapist who you can just talk over. That's what you need.
He what?
Yeah. You just get a timid one.
Yeah,
You can
just
sort of-
marauder.
It seems
over.
bizarre.
It's like,
doesn't
we're doing
it?
an hour and a half today, love, strap in.
Yeah, I love it.
It does
I love
seem. It
chit-chatting.
does seem bizarre that the whole concept of therapy is that you have a breakthrough when you have a breakthrough, and yet it all has to be constrained within an hour.
Yeah, but you don't just do it once, is the point. You do it like loads
Yeah.
of times, and like you think about it between it. It's not like you turn up, get fixed in that hour. It's not like getting an MOT.
Do you know
Like,
what?
You've got to like do the work.
Do you know what was really interesting? My daughter was having therapy with the same therapist. This is not a dark story, by the way. It was because of the pandemic. She had to have a chat with someone.
Yeah.
So, but what was really
It's not real.
No, but what was really
Pandemic.
I'd say that to her. I'd say, before she went in, I'd just say, listen, just to let you know, it's all pre-programmed for the Great Reset. Have a good session. Have a good session. Get them demons out. Put your foil hat on. Have you been screened? Don't worry about it. The spaceship's coming in 20 minutes. All the best.
Probably that vaccine you had causes cancer.
But the weird thing is she was going in as I was coming out, and I just love the idea that the therapist was like, we've got a right set here. The double Bennett, double drop of anxiety.
Yeah, you need to get your dad down there.
What's the problem? I think it might be to do with your dad. Yep, I can see that because he's here in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was just a weird one.
You walk in and like the therapist's already in a mood with you. It's like, what she said?
yeah.
I never touched her.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would shit yourself if you went in after your daughter
Yeah,
and there was a doll on the table.
With a red cross.
Yeah, like X's over the tits. You'd be like, oh God, no. I could never go to therapy. Just couldn't do it.
You'd be too angry with the therapist. You would go in there already annoyed.
Yeah, she'd sit down. She'd go, what's the problem? I go, what's it got to do with you?
I'll tell you what the problem is. 50 quid for this shit. That's what the problem is. We haven't started
It's
yet.
a bargain. 50 quid for someone to listen to you moan on about your shit is a fucking bargain.
I do it on this podcast for free.
But it must be. After a full day of that, though, you can't. If that was your job, you can't go home and just be normal.
I think it
wanna sit in
sounds
silence.
like the most boring job ever.
Most of it
because
would
people
be.
just have the same problems, don't they? A lot of people.
They must drift off as well.
Definitely.
Mentally, they've gone.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about that.
Not with me, though. I'm fucking entertaining, isn't it? I'm keeping it going, you know. But a lot of people are boring when they talk for a long time.
Especially depressed people.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sort of. Yeah. And there must be times where you just like, especially because, right, it skews middle class therapy because it's fucking 50 quid a session. So naturally, that skews you towards posh people. Most of their problems are bollocks. So if you're sat there like, oh, shut the fuck up, that must happen. You're like, where in their head, though, like, the advice they want to give is stop being a moaning cunt.
Yeah.
Just cheer up.
Yeah, but that's what the
One lesson done.
That's
cheer
what the
up.
50 quid's for. It's like, right, you slap on a fucking concerned expression and tell me that I'm valid.
Yeah.
The
Problem is sometimes cunts go and they lie, and then the therapist is like, no, you need to take more things for yourself. My ex did that. She started doing therapy, and the therapist was like, you need to think more about yourself. She literally never thought about another person in her entire life. She had never done anything for anyone else apart from herself, and she was like, yeah, I need to be more selfish. It's like, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get people, and you can tell when people are going to therapy as well because the language that they use changes, and they're all like,
Start speaking German.
no, but they're all like, no, I need to. They talk about things like ownership and like, oh yeah, I'm just being true to myself. It's like, shut the fuck up, you pussies.
Yeah.